Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Figure 4 podcast. This is Mike Cummings alongside Dan Marino and Dan. Money in the Bank is really starting to shape up. We had both Money in the Bank ladder matches, both the men's and women's, fill out their fields for the event. 8 men and 8 women. And it started all on Raw with Sasha Banks winning the gauntlet match. But let's talk about Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is the final man to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and he beat Big Cass and Daniel Bryan in this week's main event of SmackDown Live. Now, it was supposed to be a dream match that has happened before, but never in WWE. It was supposed to be the dream match of Joe and Bryan going one-on-one. The first time in WWE, they did it before, way back in Ring of Honor, way back in 2006. But we really wanted to see this. I know I did. I know you did. I can speak for you on that. I know you did as well. But Big Cass inserted himself, and he has now been cleared. I don't know if he was ever uncleared to wrestle, but he inserted himself into this match, and it was still a good match.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that it's not the worst thing in the world that that Cass ended up being put into the match, because yeah, Joe versus Bryan is something that we've been dying to see in the WWE. That obviously happened back in Ring of Honor, but that was over 10 years ago, so it would be really cool to see, but you don't need to have it on SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the worst thing in the world to have like this awesome match happen in the main event of free TV, but you know, maybe save that stuff for a pay-per-view, right? And like you said, the match was good anyway, right? So I don't think it's exactly like I don't think it's really a crime that we didn't get to see Joe versus Bryan one-on-one, especially when it was always supposed to be Cass versus Joe, right?
That's true. That's true. I think we'll see it. Sorry, well, I'm sure we'll see it eventually too, right? We'll see Joe and Bryan go one-on-one, maybe for the WWE Championship. Who knows? There's a lot of yeah, definitely. There's a lot of opportunity on SmackDown. But, yeah, I think inserting Cass definitely made the most sense, you know, to kind of, well, not only just add a little more to that match, not that it really needed to have anything more, but kind of got back to that spot that he did earn, kind of, and, you know, and ultimately just furthered along his feud with Bryan, who I'm sure they're going to face off again at Money in the Bank, because Cass assaulted Bryan after the match, as he would. It was pretty straightforward stuff, but that yeah, it was just it was a good build up, and you know, to have Joe tap Bryan out as he did, and just such a badass way that we know Samoa Joe does things and how he handles business. I think it really just gives him some momentum heading into Money in the Bank. So you know, he's going into a pretty stacked field of guys in that Money in the Bank ladder match, and you got Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, The Miz, somebody from the New Day. It's a good field. So I want to ask you, we have a few weeks before that match, who do you see walking away? Because I know we've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure that made it to air. If it didn't, it didn't. But now that we have the full field, I should say, who do you see walking away with that briefcase?
Whoa, a warning would have been nice. You're just going to spring that on me?
Well, how did you not figure I was going to ask you?
Well, we're not doing our preview show yet. No, it's fine. Well,
you don't have to answer.
First off, I just want to say I'm pretty happy that Joe won, because, you know, there's 8 guys in the Money in the Bank match, and I would say 7 of them have a legitimate chance of winning, which is super rare, and I would like to see any 6 of the 8 win. So that's pretty awesome, because in a lot of matches like this, it's maybe like half the field that's realistic to win, and maybe like 2 or 3 guys that I'd like to see win. But this year it's almost all of them, so that's cool.
Okay, so maybe I should have rephrased my question, because yeah, this isn't our preview show.
No, I was just joking. It's fine. I can give you my prediction.
No. Well, no, you're not wrong. What I was gonna say though was, out of all the Money in the Bank ladder matches in history, is this the best? I guess best one, like talent wise. On paper, is this the best one? That's
a really good fit.
Because there's a lot of talent, and that's excluding, you know, the fact we don't know who's going to represent the New Day, because obviously any of them are going to be good.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this might be one of the best fields.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. Like, you have the worst guy in this match is probably going to be either Kofi Kingston, Big E, or Xavier Woods, who are they're part of one of the best stables of this era, like probably the best stable of this era, unless you count the Shield or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the only one I would argue might be better is the All-Star one that they did. I think it was 2014 with the one that Orton won. It was like Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Sheamus, RVD. Am I missing someone? Might be missing someone. Anyway, it was stacked, right? So I think this one's right up there with it. It's definitely the most excited I've been for a Money in the Bank match since that All-Star match in 2014. So yeah, I think they've done a great job building to it.
It was 2014.
Yeah.
Oh, when Randy Orton won. Okay, so that was 2013.
Okay.
Actually. So that was... Okay, well, that one was Randy Orton, Christian, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, RVD, and Sheamus. Yeah, which is a great field.
Christian's the one I was missing, yeah.
There you go, yeah. No, that's a good field, though. I just think that, I've said this for a while. I just think that this roster for WWE is the deepest that it has ever been. Yeah. And anybody can go with anybody, I'd say.
This is a good reflection of that, actually, that this is the deepest they've ever been talent-wise. They could put together an 8-man Money in the Bank match and still, have it be loaded and still have guys who aren't going to make it onto the card,
Like, you have 8 guys in this match, and, I don't know if I'd say that any of the New Day guys are going to be world champion anytime soon. They never have been, but... Okay, let's say excluding the New Day, you have 7 guys who can legitimately be your world champion. Yeah. So that's a huge plus.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I'd say it's roughly the same for the women as well. That's a pretty good lineup, maybe excluding Lana.
Yeah, Lana's a little weird. It's hard to really classify her right now.
Well, she's the best, and she's number 1. Don't forget that. But yeah, no, that match is looking good as well. As mentioned, Sasha Banks qualifying for that match. She's the last woman to do so. So she's joining a pretty good field as well. Mm-hmm. Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Lana as noted, and Naomi. So, my hope for this match is that it won't have a tarnished finish like last year. I know a lot of people hated the finish last year.
There's no way it could be as bad as that.
Well, I guess first and foremost, James Ellsworth is no longer employed by WWE, as far as we know.
Conspiracy theorists over here. Look at this.
You never know. Hey, listen. Tell me last year? I believe it was also at Money in the Bank. Maybe it was at Money in the Bank. I don't know, but we didn't know that the Great Khali was going to come back to WWE for a night, and he did. I don't think it was Money in the Bank.
No, it wasn't.
But he did. So WWE's full of surprises, is what I'm saying. So you never know. But I don't think he'll show up. Nor do I think the Great Khali is going to show up this year.
Hey, you never know. Don't.
I mean, he was in the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yes, he was, and that was him coming out in the Punjabi Person match is one of my all-time favorite moments in WWE. So.
What I love about it is that it nothing happened.
Yeah, it led to nothing.
Like he didn't show up on SmackDown. He didn't. I'm sure Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers alluded to it the next week on SmackDown, but literally nothing.
Yeah, it was pretty pointless.
It was pointless, but it was funny. I remember it.
That's for sure. Yeah.
It made 0 sense, but
it was so shocking.
That's WWE. It was so random. It didn't make sense at all.
That was. I mean, unfortunately, it's not the only moment this has happened while I've been watching wrestling, but that was one of those moments where his music hit, and I was like, no. And then they showed him, and I just burst out laughing, and I didn't stop laughing until the show went off air.
What was your bigger pop? I think, would Great Khali returning, was that bigger than AJ Styles debuting?
Yes.
Okay, because we didn't know each other, actually, at the time of Styles debuting, but I was watching that, and I've never popped harder than that before.
Yeah,
I usually don't pop for wrestling. Like I missed WrestleMania last year, unfortunately. So I missed the Hardys coming back. But I've seen the clips, and I still get goosebumps from watching those clips. Mm-hmm. But when Styles came out, and I had heard the rumors he might be debuting, but that was insane. Yeah. But it came nothing close to the Great Khali.
Yeah, so not even close.
Leave it at that. Leave it at that.
No, well, with the Styles in the Royal Rumble thing. I was actually watching that Rumble on a totally legal stream.
WWE Network.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely had the WWE Network back then. But I was watching in my dorm room on like shitty Wi-Fi, so I actually didn't even know what was going on for like big chunks of the match, and that was one of the things. It was one of those things where like 2 minutes later, I'm like, wait, is that AJ Styles? What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Who's that guy? Oh, that's
because the stream was so bad.
No.
I couldn't tell who was coming out.
Yeah, sometimes the network kind of lags, so.
It was totally the network.
Yeah. Wink, wink. Yeah. But no, we have two really good ladder matches this year, and I'm very excited. But I think I said this last week. And maybe it won't work now just because A, they do have the pay-per-view, and B, there's two ladder matches, but I still find these matches special, but I think it would be a lot more special at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like again, I really do hear you on that. Like I definitely wouldn't mind it just because it would be a better use of it would be a better way to get guys on the card than the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which means absolutely nothing, right? You get 8 women and 8 guys on the WrestleMania card, and it's a meaningful match that people actually look forward to. Like, it could end up being 2 of the best matches of the night, right? But, that being said, of all the gimmick pay-per-views they've made, Money in the Bank is by far the best, and the one that makes the most sense. You know what I mean? Like, between, like, Hell in a Cell and TLC and all that crap. Like, at least this one is something that, you know, legitimately people look forward to every year. And it feels like there's a reason that this is happening other than them wanting to put, like, a gimmick on the title of a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah, I think it makes the schedule a little more appealing in a sense. Because you have so many pay-per-views like Backlash and Great Balls of Fire, which I hope doesn't come back.
Oh, please God,
but I don't know if it can legally. Maybe, I guess it can. I don't know. I don't know about that kind of stuff.
Why? What do you mean, like with the copyright issues? Or?
I guess copyright issues.
Well, they use the song, so I'm assuming they have the copyright for it. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's. I hope they don't though, because I don't want to be talking to people and saying, "Oh, what are you doing on Sunday?" "Oh, I'm watching Great Balls of Fire." It's like, well, what is that? It's a wrestling show. Well, I don't think you should be watching that. So that would be my thing. But anyway, I get what you're saying. It adds a little bit more to the summer, as we've talked about.
Well, yeah,
and it just makes it a little more entertaining.
Yeah, we talked about how the summer is the best time of the year for a wrestling fan, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons is like Money in the Bank is I like maybe the third pay-per-view I look forward to the most. Third or fourth.
Really? Okay. So what's your top?
So I'd be lying. Like, you have to put WrestleMania number 1. You have to, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I would say number 2 is probably the Rumble, just because I love the Royal Rumble.
Yep. Same here. I'll give you that.
Even though until this year they kind of were on a roll with screwing up the Rumble, but whatever. And then
okay.
I would say number 3. I would say SummerSlam because that's the WrestleMania of the summer, and the summer's
what I love about all of those shows, and it makes sense they're part of the top 4, right? Is that it's always accompanied by a takeover show that always steals the weekend.
That's true.
So, like,
just good wrestling.
Like, well, this is what I'm saying. Good luck to the WWE this summer, or not this. Well, yeah, this summer, but specifically the weekend of Money in the Bank, because I know we have 2 ladder matches. We have a last man standing match for the WWE title. We have just good matches in general. Hopefully, Ronda Rousey's competing as well. But you got to do all that after a street fight the night before, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. So just a little NXT news for you, but like good luck is what I'm trying to tell you.
But yeah, no, exactly. That's I mean that's part of it, right? Like all 3 pay-per-views have these sick events that happen before the actual pay-per-view happens with NXT, right? Like it's kind of like the biggest points of the year for NXT as well, and that just means it's just good wrestling. The whole weekend is good wrestling for all 3 of those. And then I would say Money in the Bank is number 4 for me, though. Right?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I would prefer Money in the Bank over... I mean, I love Survivor Series, and I get why it's one of the big 4, but I would prefer Money in the Bank over it.
That's fair. Because we've seen some Survivor Series matches not really deliver as they should. Like, the one in 2014, I want to say, where Sting appeared was great.
Yeah, that was sick.
Because it added so much more to that match, and obviously Dolph Ziggler was the hero in that match as well. So it was a cool story, but there have been some pretty bad ones, I should say.
Oh no, yeah, there've been some awful ones. I guess it just depends on the year, because I want to say not. Well, last year's was awful. Last year's was terrible.
That was the
Triple H Kurt Angle.
Oh
show.
yeah, no, that was just like that was literally
with a little bit of Shane McMahon.
That was just we don't care about our roster, but like the fact that Triple H represented Raw when he's supposed to be neutral.
That was the dumbest thing.
I know, because I know his wife runs Raw, but like,
no, it was so dumb.
Yeah,
it was so dumb. Like, it was almost comical because they did something that like even I didn't think WWE would ever do, and that was end this match with Triple H, Kurt Angle. Thankfully Braun was there, and then Shane McMahon. Like, you literally could not have done it any worse.
No, it's literally like early 2000s.
Yeah, even Orton and Cena outlasted all the. I mean, like Bobby Roode and Shinsuke aren't. They're not young, but like WWE wise, they're young because they haven't been in the company for that long, right? Especially at that time. So it was. And oh my god, I feel like there was someone else too, but like it was just bizarre the way they booked it.
It was
really
it was a rough one, but I give you I get what you're saying for making Money in the Bank one of the the bigger matches or bigger pay-per-views of the year. And it like we said, it's a good card, and there's one match in particular that I'm invested in, not so much because I'm like it's going to be a great match, not saying it's going to be a bad one, but because I'm kind of confused on the whole story. So as mentioned, Nia Jax will defend the Raw Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. She's going to defend it against Ronda Rousey. So Rousey's first championship match in WWE, her first one-on-one match in WWE. And I know some people thought that her getting a title opportunity this early, well, they thought it was too early for her. But it should be a cool match. I mean, Nia Jax obviously somebody that Ronda's never faced before size-wise. Jax is a monster in that ring. And I know Ronda obviously has the MMA background. We all know her story, but she's never faced an opponent like this before. But what confuses me is they spent all this time turning Nia face and her getting bullied for how she looks and telling people, oh, it's okay to look this way and all that kind of stuff. Which is fine. Like it's true, right? Obviously. And I have no issue with that, but they just turned her heel so fast for the sake of Ronda Rousey. Warning. No warning.
This whole thing is just so dumb to me. Like I mean, you know how I feel about Rousey. How, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever see it with her until she proves it. Like I think I've always said like she'll be able to go in the ring and she'll pick it up a lot quicker than most people do. But I don't ever think she'll be the complete package. Which means that they have to book her perfectly, right? And they're not doing that right now. I mean, Nia she just turned face, won the title at WrestleMania. They played up this whole big storyline about how she's being bullied and she's overcoming her bullies and it's okay to be bigger and stuff like that, which was cool. I mean, sometimes that storyline got a little cringeworthy from the other side.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but like, that's the way they wanted to go, and it was kind of cool to see her come out on top and her being the face and all that. And then all of a sudden, she's just a heel. Like, no warning at all. She just, first of all, the champion calls out the challenger. Weird. I mean, I guess they're trying to play up the fact that Ronda Rousey is like, the baddest woman on the planet or whatever.
She's the big dog, man.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Come on now. There's 2 on Raw.
Yeah, well, there wasn't on Monday, but we'll get to that. Yeah. What's it called? No. Yeah, they want to play her up as the baddest woman on the planet, which there's a few, like Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes might disagree with that, but whatever. All
right.
Well, so yeah, I guess it makes sense that the champion's calling her out. Whatever, but I just now she's heel all of a sudden, and now she's kind of not that she's heel, but she's acting like a bully.
Exactly, you know what I mean? I know.
It's like they completely I don't know how they don't see how ironic that is.
Well, I feel like they kind of do, and I feel like they don't care because they look at this and say, "Oh well, Ronda, like gotta push Ronda, gotta make her look strong." Well, not that she has to look strong, like she does that pretty well on her own, but really at this point, it's just they're gonna use whoever they can to make Ronda the star that they want her to be. And it's like I've said, ever since Ronda debuted and ever since Ronda started getting involved with WWE, all these other women, doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter, if they have these huge matches or how if they outperform the men on a nightly basis, it's not going to matter because at the end of the day, once you roll into WrestleMania season, we know who's the real face of that division.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just don't like. I mean, obviously, I don't like them booking. It's so one-sided. Like Nia really did earn this title run, and now it just feels like, I don't know, either she's gonna look really bad in her first title defense that isn't against Alexa Bliss, and like win in like some cheap way or some stupid way, or she's gonna lose her belt already, and it's again, it's just such a weird payoff. No, she has this huge run as like an anti-bully kind of hero kind of thing going on, and then now she just becomes the bully without any warning whatsoever.
It's a weird one for sure, but like I said, it's just all for Ronda. It's just to make her look like the star that they want her to look like. So yeah, I get it.
At the expense of Nia's story, like what was her entire run to WrestleMania for? It was for nothing. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it was just for. Well, it wasn't even the best women's match. Nia and Alexa. No offense to them, but I mean, you had. Well, obviously Ronda's match was a pretty big match, and then Charlotte and Asuka was just huge. So
yeah, Charlotte.
So unfortunately for Nia and Alexa, they just got pushed down the card, and in terms of importance. So it happened. They still had a good match, but it in terms of the other two, it didn't matter.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's sad.
It is, but like I said, Ronda's gonna run rampant through that Raw division, and good luck to those girls for trying to do something significant because at the end of the day, it won't really matter. So, work with what you can, but you're not gonna have a whole lot to work with. So that's just how I see this. How I see it playing out, I should to go along with that. How I see it playing out is that, as I've said before, I think that Natalya will probably interfere, let Nia retain, or maybe like Ronda will lose by disqualification. I don't know, or Nia will lose by disqualification. I'm gonna assume Nia walks out of the event with their title back, and then we just see Ronda and Natalya somewhere down the line.
At SummerSlam, probably.
Yeah, which will be a great match. Like it's two, I guess in a sense like two submission specialists, sort of. Like Natalya, they both bring power. Natalya obviously is the sharpshooter, but then Ronda has like a whole arsenal of submission moves. So it'll be a good match, but again, it'll just be a way to give Ronda a win of significance of some sort, and propel her to that status that they have her already at.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, it's not like they haven't done that before. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Again, like we've talked about this, there really isn't anything new. It's just that it sucks that Rousey's getting pushed at the expense of Nia Jax and what should have been a great title run. I'm not saying it's going to get tarnished, but the fact that she's now a heel so quickly after that, and I'm not a fan of people switching back and forth. You and I have watched Big Show for years. It's not the most fun thing to do. So I really hope that's not the case with her, but probably will be. So
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we'll see. Another title match. It's not at Money in the Bank, but it was on Raw this past week. Seth Rollins, Jinder Mahal. We know they have a little bit of beef. Obviously, that involves Roman Reigns, who wasn't there, but we'll get to that. They had a match for the Intercontinental Championship, and Rollins retained, but he got himself disqualified because he used a steel chair. He just kind of lost it. I thought it was a great match, though. Jinder did use a chair during the match while the referee was distracted with Sunil Singh. And Rollins just like I said, he lost it. So I know you're pretty upset because Mahal didn't win the title, but it was still a great match. Bull.
That weaselly Rollins knew he couldn't beat Jinder straight up, so he had to cheat his way to victory. Typical. You can't beat the modern day Maharaja. It's just not a thing.
Well, it was because it happens a lot actually.
What? Yeah,
well,
when people
Rollins.
cheat. When people cheat.
Yeah, but hey man, a loss is a loss. That's all I say. At the end of the day.
I thought it was pretty funny that they had to protect Mahal from losing to Rollins. this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's because like he's fighting the big dog at Money in the Bank, so gotta keep him looking semi-strong.
Gotta make him look sort of strong for that main event. Should be fun one. But the real story out of this the story within the story, I guess I should say, is Elias and Rollins. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I told you what I wanted to happen, and like I don't know what Jason Jordan's situation is injury wise, so maybe it's not possible. I really wanted to see Jordan turn heel and face Rollins for the IC belt, but this is a pretty good substitute for that. I mean, Elias was pretty hot going into WrestleMania, and ever since he's just kind of been there. Like they give him time on Raw, but he hasn't had a meaningful rivalry in a while, right?
No.
Like he had that Raw rivalry with Bobby Roode, but there was no payoff at a pay-per-view. So,
no, and he did stuff. He's done stuff with Balor and all that kind of stuff. But like you said, it had no payoff. So hopefully this one does.
Yeah, well, like even with like when going into WrestleMania, his rival was really Cena, and all he did was get squashed by Cena at WrestleMania. He never actually fought him. So
yeah,
I don't know.
You're totally
I think the two of them will put on a good match. If they do, like I'm assuming they're gonna book it for Money in the Bank because why not? Every pay-per-view is gonna be like 18 hours.
Oh, well, we were just saying like, and there was already just to state it now. We already have Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn announced for Money in the Bank. That was just announced this week, so that would bring us up to 8 matches. Plus, you throw in Rollins Elias if this is probably what's gonna happen. 9 matches on this card and the Raw Tag Team title match, which might happen. This is gonna be a really long show. So maybe saying Money in the Bank is one of the top shows might not be up there if it's 5, 6, 7 hours long. For me,
you know what? But every pay-per-view is 5, 6, 7 hours long. So.
I know. You know what? They need to do they need to have I would love to just be able to watch a pay-per-view in like an hour.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Dude, I love NXT Takeover is like 2.5 hours. That's perfect time.
And everything about NXT is perfect. This isn't NXT,
it's true.
It's the WWE.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. Like it's so hard to follow up NXT, but no, this I'm really excited for this feud. Obviously Rollins, interrupted Elias during his performance.
Yeah.
Elias, great heel work as always, running down the crowd as he usually does.
He was especially good this week.
It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my god, his one line about he said especially in a city as disgusting as Virginia, or something along those lines. I was pissing myself.
It's good, man. Like he's so
good.
He's so good at just pissing people off, and I guess he pissed off Rollins to the point where Rollins had to come out. I mean, he had a match. Right, so he had to get to the ring eventually, but Elias' performance just went on way too long in his eyes, and then Elias was pretty angry about that and attacked him with the guitar. That's how life is.
Yeah, that's how life is.
That's how I've come to see life. So
yeah, sometimes you just someone interrupts you, you got to hit them with the guitar, and then you fight for a gold belt. That's just how it is.
Well, I guess this one's white.
That's life.
Yeah, the white belt this time. But But no, I'm really excited for this one, and I think that these guys have a good dynamic in the ring. I think they will, and you have a few weeks to build it up to really make something special out of it.
Yeah, I mean Rollins is one of those guys. Like I would put him up there with AJ Styles and maybe like a very very few other select guys like Daniel Bryan, whatever, that can put on a great match with anyone. And Elias is no slouch, so yeah, they'll put on a good match.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I think we've talked about it before. I don't think I'd be too upset, and I don't think you'd be too upset with Rollins losing the belt. Sorry,
I wouldn't be upset at all.
Can't say belt, championship title, because hopefully it leads to him facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Exactly. I'm still it's becoming more and more obvious that they're probably going to go with Braun, but I'm going to stick with my prediction that I've had since WrestleMania, and that's that Rollins will pin Brock Lesnar clean for the Universal title at SummerSlam.
Well,
I'm sticking with it.
I hope we see it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I really hope we do. And the one thing I can guarantee is Rollins and Elias are going to have a great match, whether it's at Money in the Bank or somewhere else. I don't know, maybe a main event of Raw.
Rollins has to be at Money in the Bank.
Oh, no, trust me. I know. I totally 100% agree. But Yeah, I'm sure they will. And WWE knows, like, we need to fill time. Like, no, you don't, but you're going to. So
Yeah.
I don't mind they're filling it with this match. So it's gonna be a fun one to watch. And we were talking about this just prior to this discussion, I believe. But it's possible they add another match. It wasn't said that that's what's gonna happen. But next week on Raw, there's gonna be a battle royal for the tag team division. And the winners of that match will challenge Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw tag team titles. Now, they did not say that championship match is going to be at Money in the Bank. They also didn't say it won't, but it's a funny one, and well, I think it's just going to show the lack of depth that this division has. I think it's just going to show the lack of stardom this division has next week.
No, you know what? I think that we've been asking for weeks why they stacked the SmackDown tag division so much and why they took away so much from Raw. Now it's obvious. It's because they had something that we didn't see this whole time, and that's the B team.
Stop.
It was right in front of us the whole time. They could afford to lose all these tag teams because they have the B team.
Man, okay, listen. First of all, would I have liked to have attended the barbecue this week? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it seemed like a cool time, but like you just see the teams in that ring. Listen, don't get me wrong. I like the comedy. I think it's fun, but if your entire tag team division is a joke, then I'm not going to be invested in this match. Like it was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the Ascension on Raw, and obviously I know how that match is going to go, but just like seeing the Ascension come out, you know they're going to lose.
Yeah.
The only way that these tag teams are going to win is if they face each other.
Yeah, for real.
And that's not facing Hardy and Wyatt.
The Authors of Pain haven't been on TV for a while, eh?
That's true. They weren't. Well, they obviously weren't in that segment. On
Oh
Raw,
God, no.
I thought maybe if anything they would have come out at the end and just laid everybody out, but
actually
but
that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
You know why they couldn't do that though? It's because they can't obviously have the Authors of Pain lose anytime soon, but they also can't take the belts off Matt and Bray right now. And if you have Authors of Pain come out and do that, they have to fight Matt and Bray. So you have two teams that really can't afford to lose at the moment. So
they have to go on to win the tag team, the Battle Royal next week, challenge for the titles. And I guess, any team who loses, I mean, obviously they're going to lose the momentum as well. So, yeah, I can see that. I guess they're just going to have to find a way to explain why these guys weren't on Raw this week or haven't appeared. Or I don't know if they're going to be in the Battle Royal next week, but I feel like if they are, they have to win. Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly why they won't be there. I don't know what their plan is for the tag team division because there's I expected this to happen on SmackDown where certain teams are having trouble getting any kind of spotlight because there's so many of them, but this is like there's guys on Raw that aren't getting any kind of spotlight and the tag division kind of sucks. It's all really going to the B team right now. And that includes Matt and Bray, who are the tag team champions. They're barely on TV right now.
But that's speaking to the point where
I'm agreeing with you.
I know. So that's why I'm like, what we're saying is like it's not. There's nothing like really significant going on. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the Battle Royal next week. It should be, it should be good. Hopefully Braun Strowman doesn't come in and win the whole thing, but I'm sure it's going to be a good match. I don't really know who I'd see winning. I guess the B team. I guess they probably have to be the favorites.
Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna.
Oh, I know you want.
They're gonna fight for the tag titles at Money in the Bank.
Are they gonna win the tag titles?
No, absolutely not.
How fast do they lose?
Well, it's gonna be on the pre-show, so I'll give it like 7 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
I think you're being a little generous, but
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
To be honest.
The one saving grace I'd say for the tag team division, and well, okay, I'm big on the Revival. I think they should have been, the top guys as they call themselves. I think they should have been, doing well. I know the injuries haven't helped. Absolutely not. And I'm pretty sure I've heard Vince McMahon isn't too high on them just because of the injuries that they've had. I mean, injuries happen.
Because he's Vince McMahon.
And because he's Vince McMahon, they're from NXT. They were really hot in NXT, so yeah.
And they're a tag team.
They made appearances on NXT live events in the last little while. That's just and they were over. That's just how it just shows the difference in how the company views them. But I think they should be at the top. But I'd say the one saving grace that could help is if you really want to push the Dolph Ziggler Drew McIntyre thing to the tag team division. But I don't know if it's ever going to reach that. But we'll see, because I think they're gonna. This is just really setting up McIntyre to be the next, the big star, like making a star. So,
you know what? I actually totally forgot about them, which is funny because they actually have had a spotlight on Raw the last few weeks. No, I think. Wow, I totally forgot about them. They're gonna. I don't even know, man. Like they have to win the tag titles at some point. But then what are the Authors of Pain gonna do?
I know. Like, if the thing is like on SmackDown you have the Bludgeon Brothers and Gallows and Anderson. That's like a feud right now. You have the Bar and the New Day in a feud right now. You have the Usos and Rusev Day in a feud right now. So you have tag, like, they're all kind of doing their different things, and like you can get invested with those. But on Raw, like, no one cares if Heath Slater and Rhino are feuding with Titus Worldwide.
No, God, no.
Or or whatever. Any of the above.
Like, yeah, there's not. Yeah, you're totally right, and you called this from the beginning. Like, there's just nothing in the Raw tag team division. Like, they have two awesome tag teams with the Authors of Pain and whatever Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre are calling themselves. And I love Matt and Bray. Like, it's not a long-term thing, but I like them as like a short-term tag team. But there's nothing interesting happening. And like I said, the last 2 weeks, the only spotlight that the tag division has really gotten, in like any sort of significant way other than Bray and Matt beating the Ascension, which is whatever, it's all gone to the B team. Like, they're the ones cutting promos. They're having backstage segments with Kurt Angle. They're hosting barbecues in the ring for some reason. Like,
food fights.
Food fights. When Michael Cole started screaming out food fight, I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I hope Graves told him to shut up.
Why is Michael Cole still a thing?
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna put this out there, all right? I think Michael Cole is a fantastic broadcaster. I understand why people dislike him, but the guy knows what he's doing. I get that he's kind of like corny at times and he's kind of annoying, and like he really plays up. I think he really plays up to like the corporate sort of thing, and like, oh, have to support Roman, have to support, like, he's not really his own guy. He's really just a company guy. But the fact he's been on WWE television for 20 years at this point, at least 20 years, more probably. Like, obviously he's doing something right. So I really like Cole. He's a really good broadcaster. I went to broadcasting school. I'm nowhere near as good as he is right now, obviously, but I mean, listen to this podcast. I'm not very good, but
well, you got that right.
Well, listen, if Michael Cole was on this podcast, our ratings would be through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. No, see, the problem is, one of the points you made is that he's been on WWE TV for like 20 years, which is like, yeah, I mean, it's impressive. And like you said, he has to be good at something if he's been on with WWE for that long. But I mean, does that something really have to be his broadcasting skills, or does it just have to be that Vince McMahon likes him, right?
I get it. I think, like, I don't put him up there with Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler and
prime Jerry Lawler.
That's true. And I love Taz on SmackDown. I thought he was great there. And obviously right now Graves and Mauro Ranallo. How can you dislike Mauro Ranallo?
Yeah.
But
he's got a documentary coming out.
But I've heard that's going to be really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
But I don't put Cole up there, but I still think that he brings a lot to the company, has a lot to offer, and I don't know. I kind of feel like he gets a lot of undeserving flack at times, but at the same time, I do see where fans are coming from. It gets a little stale at times, but I don't know. What? I don't have much to say about it.
We have to, at some point, have the Michael Cole podcast where we debate how good or how bad he really is. We'll put that on the back burner, like the Braun Strowman longevity podcast that we promised to do in like week 1.
I don't want to do that podcast.
Which one?
The Michael Cole one.
Well, you were just defending him so passionately.
But I don't want to defend him for 20, 30 hours. I don't want to defend him for that long. I can barely defend him for a minute. So
I think we know
the same thing over and over. So
I think that's just proof of who really won this argument.
Yeah,
and I don't even have to say much.
Anyway, Michael Cole, a part of the Raw broadcast team on Raw this week. However, we didn't see Roman Reigns. We did note that earlier. No real reason given, unless I might have missed that. If I did, I apologize. But I mean, the show ran smoothly without Roman.
No, it was
I
a
think
disaster.
Come on, you would rather see
without Roman.
You'd rather see Roman Reigns than see the barbecue.
Oh my god, that's that's a fair point. No,
Yeah.
I don't know how. You know what? He must have just been like, I need a break. This is ridiculous. I'm carrying this roster on my back. No one is as good of a wrestler as me.
So he no-showed,
no one can cut a promo as me.
He pulled a Brock Lesnar.
He pulled a punk.
Wow.
He pulled a punk.
Okay. Well,
he didn't walk out. Oh, sorry. He didn't walk out of the company.
No, he pulled a Lesnar. He no-showed work. He did everything he said he wasn't going to do.
No, he just took a well-earned break.
No, he's there every week to compete.
Stop it.
He's
the big dog.
No,
the big dog does nothing wrong. He does nothing wrong.
He did everything wrong. He did everything wrong. Dan, he did everything wrong. He didn't show up to work. Okay? You know what happens if you and I don't show up to work? We get fired. All right?
Yeah.
You were a little late today.
No.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing going on at work right now where I've arrived precisely at the same time as my boss every day this week.
There you go.
Like we've pulled into our parking spots right beside each other.
So let's say you're a little late, you get fired.
Probably not fired. Like not right away anyway.
You get. Okay. Well, anyway.
Leave the big dog alone. He's got a lot on his big dog shoulders.
I'm on it. He's got a lot in his food bowl. I get it. I don't know. Dude.
Did you just say food bowl?
Yeah, he's a dog, right? He's the biggest of them all.
The biggest dog with the biggest bowl. Dog.
But anyway, I mean, to be fair though, to your point,
yeah,
ratings were down this week.
Because the big dog's not there. How do you have big ratings with a big dog?
I'd say it's more because it was Memorial Day in the States.
The Stanley Cup
people
Finals,
are doing other
game
things.
1.
People are celebrating. They're not watching Raw. You know, I didn't.
Well, NHL Stanley Cup Finals, game 1.
Yeah, nobody cared about that in this. Well, okay, not the wrestling community.
You had Golden State versus Houston in Game 7.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty big.
That's true.
That was frustrating having to balance all of those things on Monday because I didn't want to miss a second of any of it.
It was a tough Monday.
Yeah.
To be fair, no, go ahead.
I was going to say I didn't really mind missing parts of Raw. Like I just watched it on tape delay like I usually did, but like those two games were like couldn't take my eyes off either one, which was frustrating.
That's how you book a show. That's how you make must-see TV. I'm sorry, Miz, but that's must-see TV right there. Anyway, no Roman this week on Raw. We might see him on SmackDown. Speaking of must-see TV, SmackDown Live was okay this week. I'd say the highlight of SmackDown Live was not the triple threat match.
Oh, God.
You know where I'm going with this.
I actually don't.
Who would you say won that dance-off?
Oh, no. I forgot that happened.
Oh, what I want to know what you thought I was going to say.
Not the fans.
No, not the fans.
The fans did not win.
I'd say it's a non-applicable answer. No answer.
What was with Lana's like face during it? It was so weird.
She
was like going nuts.
She had to act Russian.
That's Russian?
In WWE's eyes. In WWE's eyes. That's Russian.
She was just like sticking her tongue out and like aggressively bobbing her head. And
don't get me wrong, I didn't dislike it. It was an interesting segment.
She looked like one of those girls at the club that's like just way too hyped. That like just everyone that's with her is embarrassed. Everyone who's not with her is pissed off.
Like
she's
one
nuisance.
drink in. She's like one drink in.
Yeah, exactly. And you could tell Naomi was just like, what am I doing here? What are we doing here?
I feel like they were all like I feel like the Usos were like, yeah. Didn't we just walk into WrestleMania as the tag team champions, and now this is what we get to do?
Yeah, exactly. Because at least like
Rusev's, I'm the most over thing in WWE, and this is what I'm doing.
Well, at least with Rusev, like he's like supporting his wife, like his actual real life wife. So.
What's interesting though, and this was announced.
Oh God.
What?
No, I don't know what you're about to say, so I'm nervous.
Okay. So the match announced next week. It's gonna be Naomi and Jimmy Uso, I believe, versus.
Which one's she married to? Is it Jimmy or Jay?
I think it's Jimmy.
I thought it was because my girlfriend said it was Jay. I feel
Well, I think
like
she's wrong. I don't know.
yeah.
You know what?
might be
What I
wrong.
remember it is Naomi and Jimmy. They both end on the E. So that's how I remember it. I think. I might be totally wrong. But anyway, they're going to face Lana and Aiden English next week in a tag team match. So what do you make of that? Because I feel this could potentially be the beginning of the end of Rusev Day.
You know what I think of that? I think that just means that Aiden English is supposed to eat a pin. That's what I think of that.
Okay, well, yeah, that's true. That's
because they don't want Rusev to get pinned, obviously, and obviously Lana and Naomi are going into the Money in the Bank, so they don't want either of them to get pinned. I guess they could have Uso brother number 1 get pinned, but
Uso brother, Uso thing 1, thing 2,
Oos
thing 1.
Yo, Oos. I
Oos.
hate all the. Why do they call each other Oos?
I like
or
it.
Not
I like
each other.
Oos.
Sorry. Why do they call other people Oos?
Yeah, I feel like they can only be Us though.
Yeah, like when they're like talking to like Rusev or something, they'll call him Oos. It makes no sense.
I don't know what Us means. I think it's cool. I don't use it in my vocabulary just because I'm not cool enough.
Well, it's it's short form for Uso, no? Or am I missing something?
I'm not related to you, man. You can't call me Us.
Like
I don't know.
it's bizarre. Anyway, that was off topic.
We'll look
but
up
it's
the origins and we'll get back to you on that for next week.
Okay, perfect. I'll get the intern to look into it.
Okay.
No, but like I mean, it just Aiden English by far out of all the people involved in this, whatever it is the one who can afford to eat a pin the most. So
yeah,
that's my answer.
No, I could see that for sure. I just don't think that, like, I don't see what would be so wrong as to having Rusev pin Jimmy Uso. Like,
well, there'd be nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of the WWE, man.
You can't. But that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like, Rusev gets the win, then he picks up a little momentum for Money in the Bank. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Jimmy Usos have nothing going on at Money in the Bank. So, not that we
True.
know of, at least, right? And I doubt they're gonna make the card now, just because it's pretty much.
Oh
filled.
god, no. Unless they have an Andre the Giant tag team battle royal.
Oh god, no! In the sense that we don't need another match. But I like the Usos. But you know what I mean. Like it's not an issue to have Rusev get some momentum. WWE. So, I don't know. It's an interesting match. What I meant with this though, quickly, is that what I think it might happen maybe is they build up a story where they have Aiden English like not become like tight with Lana, but maybe Rusev gets a little jealous.
Oh, okay.
And then, Rusev's, Machka kicks English's head off, and that splits them up. But in reality, though, it was Lana that kind of had that happen. Maybe she went to Paige and said, team me up with English or whatever, because she wanted to break them up, right? She even alluded to that earlier when this whole thing started, saying that she thought Rusev was getting held back, and she was pretty much saying that it was English. She didn't say it, but she said it without having to say it. So maybe she's planting the seeds.
And then Rusev and Aiden English could fight at WrestleMania in the main event, and it could be like Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan. Except Miss Elizabeth would be like kind of heel in this situation. You know what I mean?
You know what, Dan?
No?
You can keep on playing WWE 2K18 and make that match happen.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
This is like the Mega Powers. What do you?
It's not like the Mega Powers.
What?
No.
Rusev Day.
Rusev Day.
Have you heard the crowds?
No, I have. I've heard it on Raw. But it's not like, hey, okay. Anyway, this match is happening next week.
Aiden English would be Hulk Hogan in this situation.
I don't think there's any universe in which Aiden English is Hulk Hogan.
He's honestly probably a better wrestler. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll save those. We'll save those.
Are you listening, Hulk?
For
Dan's calling
yes.
you out.
Anyway, the answer is yes. He is listening.
There was also another tag team match. Well, that tag team match happened on SmackDown this week that we called, but I don't know if it was announced at the time of us calling it, so we didn't really call it. We might have missed it. But the New Day defeating the Bar and the Miz. And 6-man tag team match. We still don't know who's gonna challenge, or rather, we don't know who's gonna represent the New Day at Money in the Bank. So they're holding on to the secret.
Yeah, I think they're going to do exactly what you said they should do, and that's literally wait until the last possible second to announce who it is. And I'm hoping that they go with my strategy that I said, which is where all three of them walk down to the ring, stand there for a second, look at each other, and then one of them gets up into the ring. That's what I'm hoping happens.
I hope so. Like,
it's good. It adds some intrigue.
Do you think that they're going to all partake in the match? Not obviously all enter the match, but do you think they're going to interfere on the representatives' behalf?
It's interesting. They definitely could. I don't think they will. I think what's going to happen is with that exact scenario where they all stand there, one of them walks in, the other two go backstage. I don't think they're going to interfere.
I hope it's more of a stipulation thing. Even though it's no disqualification match, I hope it's a stipulation thing because if they didn't interfere, then they just look stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know they're not supposed to cheat. I know they're good guys. They don't cheat. But, like, I don't know. It's just it's creating logic in a situation that really has no logic. But
yeah.
But anyway, I'm really gonna I'm happy with any guy that they pick. Like we've said, you know, there's a speculated big push for Big E this summer. So like a singles push. And we talked about it last week as well. So, you know, I'm gonna assume that's who they're gonna pick. But if it's any of the three, I'm happy for them, and I'm happy to see them in that match because it's just another good wrestler. So.
Yep.
Like, how can anyone pass up seeing Kofi Kingston in another ladder match?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like Big E is probably, if you're looking at a wrestler as a whole, he's probably the best of the three, although it's debatable. And he's definitely the one they want to push the most as a singles guy. But when it comes to ladder matches, it doesn't get much better than Kofi Kingston, man. That guy could do some incredible
like when you
ring.
think of ladder matches, like and like crazy spots, obviously you're gonna think of the Hardys and all that kind of stuff, but then like you're gonna also think of Kofi and all the cool things he's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just this crazy acrobatics from this guy who's busted his ass for years and just made memories. That's what WWE's all about. It's like making memories, making good memories, not a lot of bad memories that they've made, but making the good memories that we. You want to listen? How much stuff in wrestling would you have liked to have forgotten of?
Let's start with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley's segment last week.
Wow, like see, like you don't even have to go back. You go back couple days. You go back a week, and you're already picking. So
I would even say the whole Ronda Rousey Nia Jax rivalry.
You went back 48 hours. Dan, at the time of this recording, you went back 48 hours.
The dance off.
You went back 24 hours, Dan. so you get what you're saying?
Yeah, WWE sucks. Wrestling sucks.
Have fun following up TakeOver Chicago main roster. So that tag team match, English Lana Oos, which I actually found out. I went on UrbanDictionary.com.
Oh god.
Oos is a slang term for a Samoan person.
Oh shit! Seriously?
Yeah, kind of meaning like brother.
Oh shit! Okay, wait. So is Uso the real name?
Well, Uso's their real. Well, it's their. I don't know if it's not their real last name.
Oh my god! I feel so I feel like enlightened right now.
I kind of figured it meant like you're saying like "What's up, man" or something. "What's up, bro?" I kind of felt that that's what it meant. I don't think they were saying.
But their names are Usos.
I know, but
they were just calling each other
It's
Oos.
not like because it is spelled differently. Like Oos is like UCE, but then they're USO.
Yeah.
So
oh my god, this is incredible.
Your world is just you just blew away.
I have one less thing to complain about every week.
Wow. Well, I'm glad
Pretty happy about that.
I'm glad we really cleared that up for you.
So am I.
But that tag team match is next week as well as Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. They're gonna go 1-on-1 next week on SmackDown Live. So that should be good. So that's all that's been announced for SmackDown at the moment. Obviously, things will probably be announced within the next couple of days. And then for Raw, we have the Tag Team Battle Royal. That should be fun. It's going to probably be a quick one because I doubt anyone wants to see those guys go for too long. But
come on, give us 20 minutes.
That's just me. Give us that 20 minutes that you gave Triple H and Ronda and Steph and Kurt at WrestleMania, and I'll be satisfied. I will also be forced to turn my television to another sporting event of some sort, but that is just me.
Respect the B team.
Respect. You know what you can also respect is the Figure 4 podcast. I don't know where I'm going with this exactly, but you should follow us on Twitter at Figure 4 Pod. You can catch all the latest wrestling news. You can catch all these episodes. You're probably listening to this on YouTube right now. We tweet all that stuff out on the Twitter account, so you can follow us at Figure 4 Pod. Go B team. This should be an interesting one. That's your pick, though, eh? I think we're both going with B team.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be B team. I mean, like I said, they're the only ones getting airtime, so B team.
That's true. That is so. Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be. Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope that doesn't make the Money in the Bank card unless it's on the pre-show, because
the pre-show that starts at 4 p.m.
I heard it's noon actually.
Huh?
It's 12 to 12.
It would not surprise me.
12 to 12.
It's Father's Day too, so like I'm sorry, WWE, I'm not spending the entire day watching your event.
Get your dad to watch it with you.
Yeah. No.
How would that be for a Father's Day gift? Like getting your dad forcing is probably a better word. Forcing your dad to sit through Money in the Bank 12 hours.
My dad did get me into wrestling, so it's not the most far-fetched thing ever.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
He's definitely not as into it as he was 20 years ago.
Would he sit through the hour? Or hour, what am I talking about? The day.
No. He would definitely not sit through an entire day of wrestling. He could probably watch an hour. I could see him watching like just the two ladder matches and then maybe catch the main event with Jinder and Roman.
I think your mic messed up there, but anyway, I think
Can you imagine?
Listen,
do you think they would? Do you think the crowd is gonna boo the entire match regardless?
Oh, they'd walk out. Like if you thought the company was surprised, I don't know if they thought they were surprised, but if you thought walking out on Joe Roman was significant, like it's an absolute guarantee that they're gonna walk out on a Reigns Mahal match, a main event match.
They'll miss gold if they do that.
Don't get me wrong. Not that you're not have to get me wrong. I'm not gonna be surprised if people walk out. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make that the last match. As crazy as it sounds, like it almost seems so likely that they're gonna have to have Styles and Nakamura close out the show. Like it just makes sense, or one of the ladder matches.
Yeah.
But don't like I don't blame them for having Roman and Joe close the Backlash pay-per-view just because of how Nakamura and Styles ended. But
yeah, that's the only
really,
reason.
Like, when you cut to the crowd and see all these fans walking out on this show they paid X amount of dollars for, I know it was the very end, but it was ridiculous. So hopefully they come to their senses, and this seems like an easy one, right? This is a nice little lob pitch to you. This is an easy one to hit. Do not put Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal on last.
Please God,
don't put it on at all.
What? Okay. Do I need to explain to you how meaningful this match is and how it will be looked upon in the history of wrestling? Do I need to walk you through that again?
Will it be the best match in Money in the Bank history? Is it better? Is it going to be better than John Cena's CM Punk from 2011?
Oh, hands down. I have no doubt in my mind. This is, like I said, this is the modern day Stone Cold versus The Rock. And Stone Cold and The Rock had two of the best matches in WWE history. So, actually, you could even, their third match was good too. It just wasn't, legendary, but, yeah. We're about to see some legendary shit go down when these two icons meet face to face.
We, in
a squared circle.
You know what, Dan? I give you that. We're about to see some shit go down. That's for damn sure. But,
maybe they should save it for WrestleMania. Do a year-long build to it.
Oh, my. Okay, you know what? We're going to go.
All the shenanigans Jinder and the Singh brothers could be pulling every week.
Dude,
my God.
Roman's going to spear all three of them.
Imagine if the other Singh brother comes back and they dress up as the Shield in one segment.
Okay.
Oh my God, I should book WWE.
Not that anyone's listening right now, but just in case WWE's listening, I think you should stop talking.
No. Do it. Can you imagine? That's gold.
You know what's gonna actually
It's
happen?
gold,
Though?
Jerry. It's gold.
You know what's actually gonna happen though? Samir Singh's gonna come back and he's gonna side with Roman Reigns.
I mean, if you look into the big dog's eyes, I would.
Okay, we're gonna go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. No, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Dan's twisting me up. Thanks you guys so much for listening. This has been the Figure 4 podcast. It's been Mike Cummings. That's been Dan Marino. We'll see you next week with more build up to Money in the Bank.
And don't forget to share this with your friends. We know who you are, and we'll find you.
We don't really know who you are, but
I'll go all Triple H against Randy Orton, like breaking into your house with a sledgehammer and stuff.
He didn't even. I mean, I think he got arrested for that, but really he didn't.
I don't care.
I love how you can literally just like almost kill someone and not get anything for it. That's WWE.
Wrestling.
And you know what?
We're a wrestling podcast, so we can get away with that stuff, just like the wrestlers can.
I've literally almost seen murder multiple times on WWE television.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see anybody get killed, but I feel bad for the audience watching Money in the Bank because they were going to be dead by the time they have to see Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal. But anyway, that's all that we have this week. Thank you guys for listening. Follow us on Twitter @Figure4Pod, and we'll see you next week.